Joining me now, the founder of the American Truth Project and Daily Ledger contributor, Barry Nussbaum. Barry, I say go full Monty on this one. Why not castrate? Castrate the guys. You'll not only get rid of the kid problem, but you'll get rid of the raging hormone problem.
You've got a really interesting ethical debate raging based on this judge's very creative way to stop rampant child production among drug abusers. What the comment was based on is a very high percentage of his inmates in the local jails are drug abusers, and he's trying to prevent children from being born out of wedlock to drug families where they end up literally being raised by the state rather than by the parents who run away and do it all over again. So it's creative, but there's a big debate with the ACLU saying the Constitution forbids it, which, by the way, the Constitution doesn't talk about this, but that's usually where they base their arguments.
And by the way, it's not free, as the judge pointed out. I think the taxpayers of Tennessee would be paying for these snips. Now, speaking of snipping, we could say goodbye to more Obama-era regulations.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to see the president carrying through on one of his biggest campaign promises, Graham, which is to slash the bureaucracy that's stifling America. There's this blob that's grown out of America, starting in Washington, D.C. It's everywhere now, and it's in the form of regulations that once they get instituted, it's very hard to get rid of. They become the way of life, and it's strangling American businesses. His goal was eliminate 2 for every new one. He's now running, get this, 16 regulations eliminated for every new one.
Oh.
This is Trump on fire.
That's awesome. And you'll never hear that from the mainstream media. It's worth repeating. It's 16-1?
Yep, 16-1 as of right now. That's the current map.
That's a wonderful ratio, and I think we're going to see the dividends on that maybe a couple years down the road as businesses see these shackles come off and begin to grow. Now, we can thank the 44th president, Barack Obama, and the Democrats for the Iran nuke deal. And Donald Trump is trying to put some teeth back into dealing with Iran now.
Yeah, it's a first step towards a campaign promise that he still hasn't kept, and I'm sad about that. If you remember, Graham, he said on the first day, I'm going to tear up the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal. That didn't happen. It's now 6 months into his term, and he's recertified them as compliant several times already. However, this is a great first step. Remember, Barack Obama promised Iran would never get nukes. The nuke deal guarantees they're going to get nuclear weapons. Yep. Meanwhile, he gave them a gazillion dollars to export terrorism. Please, Donald Trump, follow through. Tear it up. Start over.
Don't forget that a gazillion dollars was in cash delivered on a crate in some unmarked airplane flown into Tehran. The whole thing was so slimy. And speaking of slimy, we can thank the Democrats and Barack Obama, of course, 44th president, for the Iran nuke deal. And we can also thank the current Democrats, and I'm sure Barack Obama is behind the scenes somewhere pulling the strings on this, for attacking the 45th president. That would be Donald Trump.
Yeah, if I was an operative working for the GOP and I was placed covertly inside the Democratic caucus in Congress, I would have them doing exactly what they're doing now. Everything they're coming up with is, I hate Donald Trump. Either he dies or we impeach him. My whole platform is no to Donald Trump.
Right.
What the people that are being represented realize, you have to be for something, not just against somebody. They better come up with a platform soon, or it's going to tilt worse in the midterms.
Yeah, and this whole plan to impeach Donald Trump was hatched the day after the election. Let's face it. This thing has been on the books that long, and that's what they're trying to execute now. And they don't care, Barry. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about doing good for this country. They care about their power structure. That's it.
It's all about, we hate Donald Trump, and we hope you do too. Vote for me. That doesn't get you elected. Trump got elected on a platform, which he's trying to get through. Democrats lost because their platform was, we hate Donald Trump, and they won't get off that train. And it's going to kill them in the midterms, I predict it.
Yeah, even Nancy Pelosi is admitting as much right now. Barry, thanks. Coming up.